What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and we have got a brand new segment to bring to you today. As you can see, all the OneFootball branding everywhere. Obviously, this video is brought to you by the great OneFootball app. The link is in the description below. Please do go and download it, and you have a host of different kind of football content on there: match facts, stats, transfer news, all different news regarding the team that you fancy. In our case, it is Tottenham Hotspur. So we will be bringing you to this video to you weekly. So it is a OneFootball update. We're going to be going through the Tottenham news on the app, reacting to it, seeing how likely or unlikely it is. And we've got some really interesting news today to bring.
Yes, they have transfer news, they have general football news as well, and basically anything breaking, OneFootball always covers it, and they always have the latest news in regards to Spurs and anything going on in the football world. So it is a really great app. But yeah, we've got some interesting snippets that they've been reporting on today, and they've got links to. So let's get into what we can see with the OneFootball app. So that's the general news bit. If we go specifically to Spurs, the first news they've got today is Spurs playing it cool with Real Madrid over Bale negotiations. And this is by Tribal Football. So it's a report from the London Evening Standard. It says Tottenham are keeping their powder dry in terms of a new deal for on-loan Real Madrid attacker Gareth Bale. The London Evening Standard says, after his struggle to make an impact in the first 5 months of the season, Bale has now hit form, scoring 6 goals and 3 assists in his last 6 games, raising hopes that he could stay at Tottenham beyond the end of the season. The 31-year-old has no future at Real Madrid, while Zinedine Zidane is in charge of the club and wants to avoid paying the final year of his contract around $30 million before tax. Spurs contribute less than half of his reported $600,000 a week wages, and the deal is not thought to include the automatic option of a further year. So they would have to renegotiate with Real Madrid and Bale's agent, Jonathan Barnett, to keep him. Barnett has raised the possibility that Bale could stay for longer, but Chairman Daniel Levy is yet to hold any discussions. So interesting stuff. I guess the headline news out of that is that Tottenham are not thought to have an option for the second year, which Alistair Gold reported that he believes they do have an option, and I believe this is London Evening Standard, so I believe it's Dan Kilpatrick saying they don't have an option. So a bit of a who do you believe? Choose your fighter. Who do you think?
I mean,
who are you backing?
I think I'm backing Alistair Gold all the way.
Ali
Gold. When it comes to Spurs news, he is the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT, and that's all you got to say.
When it comes to he kind of must have a link or something inside the club, because he always seems to get snippets before everyone else when it comes to things that are definitely happening. So I think Ali, I agree with you. I think he usually is on top of these things. He usually knows what he's saying.
And also, yes, it might be coming from the Evening Standard, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's coming from Dan Kilpatrick.
I think it is coming from Dan Kilpatrick.
You know that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he wrote the article. Yeah, I think that was he tweeted it on his Twitter. So I do believe it is Dan Kilpatrick. But it'll be interesting. But he does say definitely not. He says thought not to include. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's an option.
Look, I think we listen to Ali Gold here. The Here We Gold. You know what I mean? He is the GOAT when it comes to Tottenham news, and that's all I'm going to say on that matter.
Maybe it could be. Maybe we have like first option, and not. Maybe it's not an automatic trigger or something. But what do you think? Do you as of now, if you're a betting man, is he staying a second season? Would you put money on him staying or not?
If he carries on the way he's going right now, then yes, I don't think it's an. I think.
But right now, I'm asking you to make put money on it right now.
Yes.
You're paying money on him to stay.
Yes.
You think he'll stay from next season?
I think he will, just because we never thought. Like, it got to a stage where maybe we never thought we'd see this form, and suddenly it's come out of pretty much nowhere, this Gareth Bale form, and I think that it's kind of caught everyone by surprise, and I think that. Look, I think as it stands right now, it looks as though he will be carrying on this form for the foreseeable future. And if he does, he'll stay.
I agree with that. I think what we're seeing, maybe people can say, the opposition, Burnley and Palace, but every Premier League game is really important. Every Premier League game gives its own trials and tribulations. They're all tough in their own right. And I think we're seeing a bit of consistency now with Bale. We're seeing some devastating form, and he just looks confident, and he looks like he's going to make an impact. He's not like flirting in and out of games. He's really dominating his attacking positions. It'll be interesting to see how he plays against maybe some better sides. But right now, what he's contributing is really, really effective, and he's working really, really well in that final third.
Well, the first few games that we saw this form from Gareth Bale was, I know the game was already done by then, but the Man City game, they're a quality opposition. He came on, he started his stuff in the last 10 minutes or so, and I thought he looked really positive. And then against West Ham, when he came on in the second half of the game, West Ham one of the best teams in the Premier League this season. I know it's hard to say that, and I know it's hard to believe that, but it's the facts. And he came on the second half and completely ran that game.
Yeah, I agree. And also, you got to think earlier in the season, right? He was like playing Europa League games. It was very uninspiring, and he
But it looked sharp.
Like no, I wouldn't say he looked sharp earlier in the season.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
But we were saying it at the time.
yeah, I know what you mean. But I think when you're having those kind of performances against like Europa League kind of like farmers, even a lot of them, you to get him to a stage now where he's like really contributing in the Premier League, it's like night and day performance. So I don't think it's just the opposition that's making him look good. I think he's actively playing extremely well. So I think we're all hopeful this form will continue, but time will tell. But yeah, I agree with you. If I'm putting money on it right now, from what I've seen in the last few weeks, I would say he's staying. I would say he's staying, but it looks like I think Spurs won't make a decision until the end of the season. That's what the article's saying.
All right, well, let's move on to the next story. What have we got?
We got Man United jump ahead of Spurs at Liverpool in the battle for Fiorentina defender Milenkovic.
So I know that Milenkovic has got around 18 months left in his contract. I know he's not signing a new contract, and I know that he'll be a brilliant signing for us. 6'4", big, tall defender, and doing really well in the Italian league where Fiorentina aren't doing very well. So it looks as though he is set to leave this summer. And I think if we could get our kind of heads in front of Man United and get this deal over the line, I think it'd be a brilliant deal.
Well, according to Calcio Mercato, Milenkovic is still being linked with Man United, who have reportedly contacted the defenders' camp over a transfer. AC Milan, Inter Milan, Tottenham and Liverpool are also named in the report as interested parties. Milenkovic has been one of the stars of the season. He's 23 years old and could be available for as little as 26 million in the summer. But look, at the moment they're saying United are stealing ahead. I guess wait and see. They've obviously got Maguire, Lindelof, Bale as their options. They could definitely do with another one in there. That's what they've all been saying. But if they had Maguire and Milenkovic as a partnership, like they would not lose a header, like in that partnership. But maybe they lack a bit of pace.
A lot of Premier League teams are in the market for centre backs this summer. You've got us, Man United, potentially Arsenal, potentially Chelsea as well. So there's going to be a lot of defenders that are going to be very hardly sought after in this summer transfer window.
Yeah. But let's hope we can get a go at Milenkovic this season. All right, next up, we've got Lucas Moura, who was talking to the Spurs official site. He says, keep the ball and attack. Moura calls on Spurs to use creative players in top four race. This is Lucas Moura reacting to Tottenham's win against Crystal Palace. Lucas Moura has called on Tottenham to use their creative players as the club look to continue their recent form and secure Champions League football. Jose Mourinho's side have shown signs of recovery in recent weeks with 3 consecutive wins, a turnaround in form that has moved the North London side back in contention for a top 4 finish. Spurs were top of the Premier League in mid-December before a torrid run saw them drop down the table, including 5 defeats in 6 fixtures throughout January and February. Recent results and performances have improved, however, with the return to form and fitness of Gareth Bale having been a welcome boost for the Welsh international in the wins over Burnley and Palace. Where Bale has formed part of an exciting new attack, including Son and Kane and Moura. The quartet have shown signs of developing and encouraging an understanding in recent weeks. Moura has hailed the quality of Spurs' attacking options and believes playing on the front foot is key to the hopes of securing consistent results this season. He says, for me, we have unbelievable players, we have creative players, and we need to keep the ball to dictate games. It's a big pleasure for me to play with these players, and also because they are very, very good guys. I'm so happy, I'm so proud of the team, and I feel very comfortable playing with them. The most important thing is we make use of these players in every game. We have so much quality, and if we keep the ball in attack, we lessen the risk of teams coming at us, and they can win the game for us. But I think the main thing was the mentality. We just have to believe. We have to have belief in ourselves. We need to know how good we are because we have terrific players, a very good squad, and the quality in the Premier League to win games. When we win, when we realise that we have confidence, we are able to dominate games, and we just need to keep this going. He says it's not easy when there are a few teams in front of us, but we need to trust ourselves in terms of the top 4 race. We can achieve this objective, but we need to think step by step, game by game. If we play like this, like we did against Palace, of course we can finish top 4, and that's the objective. What do you think he's saying there when he's talking about we need to be attacking more, we need to dictate games more? Is he maybe
That's
saying
exactly what he's saying?
I know, but do you think he's saying we weren't doing that enough early in the season? But do you reckon
100%.
was that a tactic, or do you think is the players not implementing it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's the players not implementing it, because you heard at the time Jose Mourinho coming out and being like, oh, we need to press more, we need to attack more, we need to control games for longer. And that just wasn't happening on the pitch, was it? You saw that again. Even games when we were winning 1-0, we were still giving away too much hope to the other team, too much possession, too much control in games. And I think that's changed. And I think that's changed since probably the Everton game in the Cup. I think that's changed, where the players seem to have a lot more belief in the squad now. And I'm not sure what that's down to. Is it down to Gareth Bale coming in, giving the whole place a lift? I don't know, but something has definitely changed.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we can be more on the front foot. I mean, look, the thing is, we were at the beginning of the season. It's not that we weren't on the front foot; it's that we were on the front foot, but we lost control.
Yeah,
that was the thing. We weren't on the front foot.
Games,
we weren't on the front. We weren't on the front foot for the whole 90 minutes. Basically, that was our biggest problem.
Because that West Ham game was 4 games into the season or something, 4 or 5 games into the season, and then from then on, we didn't really go. Well, we weren't on the front foot at all until very recently.
I wouldn't say that. I remember games against like Palace and games against like Fulham where we were on the front foot. We just weren't on the front foot for the whole 90 minutes.
That's very odd games here and there, but I'm talking about on a run of games, on a stretch of games. You're talking about individual games. I'm talking about like a run of games, where on a run of games now.
No, but you said at all we weren't on until recently.
All right, I'm talking about a run of games. I'm talking about from Everton till now. Man City game aside, push the Man City game.
Yeah, we
aside.
have been on the front foot most of those games.
We've been on the front foot most of the games. Yes, Palace and Newcastle, the odd game we were on the front foot and didn't win the game. But on a whole, we haven't been on the front foot.
I would say it's more the odd game where we weren't as opposed to we were.
I disagree. I think the majority of the games we weren't on the front foot.
I think in terms of being this attacking side, I think most of the games we've had a lot of periods where we will have been on the front foot and created chances and been attacking. But I just think what we've found difficult is sustaining it for 90 minutes in a lot of our games. And a lot of the time we've either started sloppily and then come into it in the second half, or started well and lost control in the second half and haven't been able to sustain dominance for 90 minutes.
I would say the majority of our dominance and our attacking play has come where we've already been down, probably. When we've gone up, we've reverted into our shells. When we've gone down, we've then we've gone, all right, we need to get a goal here. Mm-hmm. So it's not been, for me, it doesn't look like, I don't know whether it's the players' fault or Jose's fault. This is not what I'm talking about. But for me, what it's been looking like is that we start the game, not majority-wise, we start the game not on the front foot, or maybe for the first 10 minutes we're on the front foot, and then we revert back into our shells, then we wait until we concede or we go down to then go on the front foot again. It's not a kind of concerted effort to go out at them from the majority of the game.
Well, it's good to hear Lucas saying this kind of stuff, and hopefully we see more attacking from Spurs. Another bit of transfer rumours. Atletico Madrid watching Tottenham's midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso.
Watching him on the sidelines.
Yeah, watching him on the exact treatment. Watching him in his physio room.
The way he dealt with that hamstring injury. What a player.
Unbelievable. We need to sign him up. This Estadio Deportivo, I don't think they're a very reputable publication, but they say Atletico want to bring the former Betis star back to La Liga for next season. Tottenham, after a year-long loan, signed Lo Celso permanently last year for €32 million. He's highly rated by Mourinho through his season. Has been plagued by injury. Atletico are hoping Spurs will prepare for a quick sale this summer. I don't think that'll be likely, and I think he would fit in well with Atletico actually, but I don't think we'd be willing to sell him so easily this summer.
Look, I want to tell Diego Simeone and Atletico to get your hands off our players. Get Lo Celso out of your minds, man. I mean, we've only had Lo Celso for such a short while, and most of the time he's been injured, so we need to get him on the pitch.
Yeah, we need to get him on the pitch. I want to see him really fulfill his potential.
He's top quality player, man.
All right. Next up, this Matt Doherty story was fairly interesting. Tottenham star admits he has made mistakes and promises to turn around. This is a story that it was taken from his programme notes from the game against Crystal Palace. He's saying, speaking in an interview for the matchday programme for the game against Palace, new signing Doherty revealed how he plans to turn around his bad form for Tottenham. The right back joined Spurs from Wolves last summer for $13.4 million, but since then he has failed to make an impact. The Irishman has failed to displace Aurier on the right flank flank. He's started two of the last 8 league games for the team, but Doherty is unaware of his poor form. But Doherty is not unaware of his poor form and has himself acknowledged it. He says, "I haven't been playing that well so far, but hopefully I can turn that around. My form has not been the best. There are things I need to improve on and things I need to adapt." He also said, "I feel like lately I've started to go around the bend. The form is kind of improving, and when that happens, things start to come off, and that obviously builds your confidence." He also says, "Yeah, that's pretty much the quotes they've taken."
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's positive that he's realising where he's going wrong. He's realised that it hasn't gone to the way we've planned. He's planned, everyone's planned pretty much. And he's right in saying that he's slightly turned a corner in the past couple of weeks, but still, I still feel a lack of quality there.
He's improving. That is true, and we've said that on the channel that his performances of late have been improving. But at least he's acknowledging he has a poor style. He says we haven't seen the best of him as well. People have also juxtaposed his quotes to what Eric Dyer was saying a couple of weeks ago, when Dyer was saying he was actually been happy with his form this season and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see the two mentalities, people being comparing them. And also, do you think there's a correlation between that Dyer thing? Because we haven't seen him since.
It's very interesting.
Do you think there's any correlation or just coincidence?
I mean, there could be, but I think just everything just took its toll with Eric Dyer, and how long can Jose Mourinho last with these individual mistakes? Davinson Sanchez, yes, he's been making individual errors all season, but he's come in now in the last couple of games. You can see that our defensive displays have been a lot better than they have been for a majority of the season. Eric Dyer, he needs to come in and do the exact same. Look, I'm not going to say Davinson Sanchez has been completely faultless the last 3 games, but it's been better. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree. And hopefully Doherty, we can see the best of him at Spurs. And he also acknowledged that the role was different. He's adapting to it, but it's not something he's alien to. And he's confident Spurs fans will be seeing the best of him.
But I like that mentality from Matt Doherty as opposed to the Eric Dyer one a few weeks ago. That's for sure.
Yeah. Conte stopped defensive star from joining Tottenham despite 30 million bid. This is a story also from Calcio Mercato about apparently Tottenham having a 30 million pound bid for Skriniar, but Antonio Conte made a request to stop the transfer as Skriniar came close to joining Tottenham. This is in spite of Slovakian international falling out with his manager, which led to transfer links in the first place. So interesting that deal was nearly done, but apparently Conte was the one who blocked it as opposed to the board, which is a fairly interesting.
Inter just have something in for us ever since we sold them Eriksen, because we made them work for it.
And he scored the winner for Inter to go, 4 points clear or 6 points clear at the top yesterday? Skriniar did, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Skriniar did, 6 points at the top.
Yeah, so he's clearly that's been a good...
Yeah, he's also been the best defender in Serie A this year as well. So
He has. And last story we'll talk about is this one. Norwich already contact Tottenham about extending Oliver Skipp's loan. Norwich are speaking with Tottenham about the possibility of extending the loan of youngster Oliver Skipp. The 20-year-old has impressed since arriving at the Championship club. Norwich may return to the Premier League through automatic promotion, want to hold on to Skipp for the next term. Footy Insider, which we famously haven't held too much in high esteem, says claims the two parties are in talks and a deal could happen. However, Spurs have not made a final decision as manager, may want Skipp to integrate into the first team next season. Do you think there's any chance we allow Skipp a second term?
No chance. We need him back quicker, never mind later. You know what I mean? We could really do with him right now, with Højbjerg desperately needing a rest. Skippy would come in for this Thursday night game, no problems at all. So I think we need Skipp back now rather than the end of the season anyway. But
so even if it means he plays week out Premier League football next year,
I'd rather send Winks there.
You'd rather send Winks to Norwich. Fair. I kind of agree. I think Skipp's going to be part of the first team next season. I think we're all excited about him. The only thing, I think he's good backup for Højbjerg. And I think they could do him the world of good being part of the team. And he'll get plenty of minutes, I think. Let's
be honest, he will get plenty of minutes. Let's be honest as well that if he does go to Norwich for another season-long loan next year in the Premier League, it would do him the world of good. It really would. But, we got to look at ourselves first and we need him.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, that is the news brought to you by OneFootball. There you go, yeah. So go check out the app. The link is in the description below. All the latest news are from around the footballing world is on the app as well, and it keeps you up to date. All the latest transfer news. There's also videos on there as well where you can go check out, which they have, and there's also all the latest Tottenham news, and also live match coverage as well when the games are going on. You can keep up with all the latest stats and all what's going on in the matches as well. So go check out the OneFootball app with the link in the description below, and yeah.
All right, so there you have it. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of our OneFootball app update, and also let me know in the comment section below what you thought of all the news updates we did bring you today. Please do scroll down, click that link and download the OneFootball app. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.